Good evening and welcome to all of our listeners. This is Gil,
This is Lou.
and you're finally listening to Good Talks again.
After our hiatus.
Oh yeah.
It's been like a month, according to the last one that was broadcasted, because there's one that was taped but never released.
Oh yeah. That was the 1 year.
And figured that was the 1 year one, and then now we're talking about it again in a different context.
This is crazy.
Who would have thunk it?
I know. You have to forgive me a little bit. Because I guess what they call brain fog or something like that.
Yeah.
Normally I am
Quick witted.
right.
Yeah. Now you're like in slow motion. You not normally like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I feel, I feel weird. I've been feeling weird for some time. I even feel like I'm slowing my words a little bit, to be honest with you.
Not really.
I have to, really think about what I'm saying. And, but either way, thank you for tuning in, I guess. For those who are not with us live, you can listen to us later on YouTube. This will also go on our Apple podcast. And that's pretty much it. So welcome back to ourselves. That's what I'm going to tell me.
Welcome back to ourselves.
Welcome back, Gil. Glad to be back. I mean, I'm really glad to be back, to be honest with you. Like, there's that part of me that is like, I didn't think that I would be here, So being able to do this now, it's cool, although I'm still, having to deal with the symptoms and everything else and I guess my brain fog. It is good to be here, and share my story, share our story, if anything.
I'll say my story is short compared to yours.
I know.
Your shit is a saga.
Nothing. So yeah, I guess, you know what? Let's just jump right into it, because I've been looking forward to sharing this, because again, you have a lot of people who are out there dealing with, this as well. And they may not have the outlet, or they may not understand or know, for those who are going through it, who, possibly will, go through in the future.
There might be some people that don't even know they have it and they're going through it, to be honest.
I think this is, if you're able to take something from our conversation, from our story, that'll be great. So that's why I wanted to do this and do it, as soon as I could, because, I don't feel like this should wait any longer.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess for me, well, for us, right? We found out that we had it. We had the virus. We had, COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And we both went through pretty much the same symptoms.
Well, no, yours was
in the beginning.
Yours was worse. I never had a fever.
Oh, you didn't have a fever?
Nope, never had a fever.
Wow. Okay. I had a fever.
Yep.
Was it like major, or was like, kind of?
No, you had like a 99.
99?
Something.
It was like 99.9, 100.
Yeah.
It was always around there. It was
never really went above that.
But I do believe that if I had the oral thermometer, or maybe the rectal.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't have that one.
I'm pretty sure it would have been over, 100. It would have been like 100.8 or something like that. Who knows? Just saying. We have the what do you call that, man?
The forehead one.
The one
the touchless.
Yeah.
You don't touch yourself with it.
It's like a little laser gun.
Laser gun.
Yeah, it was
made by Conair.
Was it really?
Yeah, it is.
Holy crap.
Sold in CVS.
Fine. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
It's a good thermometer, I have to say.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
We used the shit out of it, I have to say.
I had the chills for like the first night or something.
I wrote down my stuff.
I did too. What was yours the first day?
So I said, for the most part, my symptoms were more like a cold. Right. So I had like sneezing. I was sneezing. I had a runny nose, a cough. I had some sinus pressure, a slight headache. But the thing that put me over the top, that I felt like there was something wrong, was the fatigue and tiredness. I don't have that when I have a cold. I have my normal like energy, but that afternoon, I was I was already experiencing. I had been experiencing cold symptoms for like a couple weeks, so that was nothing new to me. That I thought it was allergies, but the fatigue and the tiredness, that's what like made me feel like there was something wrong. That's not something I've normally felt ever.
Well, mine was a little rougher than yours.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I had the chills. I had the fever, and I thought that I was actually, okay. Day 3 to 4, I was like, yeah, you know what? This is nothing. Like it's gonna, it's gonna go away.
My day 4 is when I felt more.
My day 5 was when it was the start of it. Like I started coughing.
Nope, mine was day 4. Is when I actually had chest tightness and stuff. I didn't feel that on the first few days.
Well, that's what I mean. For me, it was day 5 where I started to actually cough, and I'm like, wow, okay, I'm coughing now. And then day 6 and day 7, that's when I started feeling the tightness in my chest. Day 8, day 9, 10. They say day 5 through 10 is where you really have to pay attention to your symptoms, because it kind of day 10 lets you know. I guess day 10 to day 12 lets you know where you're headed. So my day 10 to 12 was pretty rough. I think I was able to breathe about 30% deep. Anything more than that, I would start to cough. My chest would start to hurt.
You should tell them the little fun fact we learned about that, what you were doing. So in order for you not to cough, because you said breathing deeply made you cough.
Right.
So you decided...
I don't remember.
Not to breathe deeply.
Oh, well, that was the 30%, man. That was...
No, but I'm saying, and the thing that we learned is that was really bad for you to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm supposed to breathe in deep and cough or
even
whatever.
If you have to cough.
So that way I could cough it out and stuff.
And the air flows through your lungs properly.
Right.
Because if you're not breathing deeply, you're not, getting air to all the parts of your lungs.
Yeah. Well,
so it was actually causing it. There was a possibility it could have caused it to get worse.
I really needed to breathe in deeply, because again I didn't know this. I guess this is where we're gonna head right now. How long was it? I think it was like 12 to 14 days or something like that. And then I went to the hospital, right? I went to the hospital because, I started using the oximeter. And the oximeter is that little device that you put on your finger, and it tests your oxygen level, right?
Yep.
And
your heartbeat too, actually.
Yeah, your pulse rate. And so, like, I was reading, oh my gosh, Google will destroy you.
Oh man.
So we got the oximeter, to monitor, my oxygen level, because they say that once your oxygen level goes down to, the doctors say 91 or 90, right? But normally it's like 95. 94, you're kind of, you're threading it. 93, they say go to the doctor. Yep. When you go to the doctor, they tell you, 91, 90 is when it's really serious. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, I don't want to come here when it's 90. Why do you
have to be almost 10% less than what it's supposed to be?
Right, like I don't want to go there at 90. No, I want you to take care of this. Do something before that happens. Like I don't want any of that stuff. You know what I mean? Oh man, hearing the sirens is pretty crazy.
Cue sirens.
I know, right? So I think for me, when it came time to deal with my oxygen level, it was probably the most scariest thing, because I was always watching it. I was always looking at the oximeter.
Like a stalker.
And I pretty much was like, oh my gosh, it's, 95. Oh my gosh, it's, 94. And I would, and you'd have like this, you have it where it beeps. So if it goes down to 93, it starts beeping. I remember one night it was beeping, and I had to turn it off because I didn't want you to get worried.
Mother effer. I didn't know that.
So yeah, I took it off. I turned the sound off. I muted it. And yeah, so it was kind of scary in with that, because again, I'm always looking at the oximeter. I'm always looking at it, and I'm like, oh please, jump to 96. Let me get to 96 at least. Mind you, again, I'm only breathing in about 30%, and that's it. I could do it. I didn't have an issue with it. But it was nerve wracking. So what do we do? One Friday afternoon or Friday morning, right?
Friday morning.
Friday morning, I said, you know what? It's we need to go to the hospital. I need to go to ER. So what do? Straight to Englewood Hospital.
Oh, my favorite. I'm sorry.
It may be your favorite because it's quick, but at the same time, it's still, to be determined how great they are.
They're good. They treat you well, and they even serve you good food. So yes, they're good.
So we wind up going to Englewood Hospital. And, again, they took me pretty quickly, right?
Yes,
right?
They take everything seriously. They do all the tests. They don't give you any trouble,
right,
about doing tests on you.
So, I'm there, take some tests, get some blood work done. The first thing that they do is they, give you an EKG, check your heart, and with them they gave me a blood test. Right, so I guess they were checking for whatever. I don't know.
Well, they always check for infection and white blood cells and blah blah blah, just to see if everything's okay.
So they're checking, and I guess the doc came back and he told me about my my levels, which had to do with blood clots, right? Mm-hmm. So a normal. They call it a D-dimer. They call it D-dimer. And that tests your, the blood clotting, right? So your D-dimer, your normal is 0.00 to 0.40. That is your normal. 0.00 to 0.40. Mine was at 0.52. That's what mine was. Mm-hmm. So it was it was elevated. It was above normal.
Yeah.
At that point, the doctor said, they were kind of like, we don't know. It seems a little bit high. They took it twice or something like that. And the second time was a little elevated. He told me to take some baby aspirins or whatever.
Yeah, bear aspirin.
For as a blood thinner, right? For the blood thinner.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it.
But he didn't stress the severity that this could turn into either. That was the thing I didn't appreciate. He did. I have to say, though, that they did tell you in that same visit that you had COVID pneumonia.
Well, yes, yeah, that was the
thing I guess they were
diagnosis.
More focusing on.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that there's no real medication for it. So therefore, you just kind of have to, just kind of go through it.
I was kind of floored. Like, really? COVID pneumonia? Like, what the hell? Right? Yeah, what you're seeing right now is a picture of what I had all the time.
Those are your essentials.
Yeah, every night.
There goes the thermometer.
Every night, the thermometer, the oximeter in the top left, or straight up, a little black thing. The halls for my nasal and stuff.
Oh, we pre-apologize for the disposable bottles, but that's what we live on, unfortunately.
Yeah. So yeah, this is what I was. This is what I needed every night. And then going back to the COVID pneumonia, it was crazy. Like, I didn't know what to think. Like I was actually feeling fine day 7 to day 12 or day 8 to day 12 with my breathing until I went to Englewood to the emergency and found out that I had COVID pneumonia, and then all of a sudden I'm starting to go back. What
was it?
Yeah,
decline.
Yeah,
reverse,
it's just
whatever.
it was crazy, and I'm thinking to myself, whoa, like I was okay in the beginning, day.
You felt
10,
like you were getting a little bit better.
I felt like I was able to breathe deeper, and everything was getting getting better. So okay, so Friday that Friday passes. I I have COVID pneumonia. I didn't really think about the blood
Basically,
clots.
they just told you bed rest, plenty
Right.
of fluids,
Yeah.
take the aspirin.
And come back if you are having issues breathing.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really have issues breathing per se. I didn't really have issues like that. So Monday comes, and I had a conversation with my baby sis, and she is a nurse, and I guess she was kind of warning me or giving me
Advice.
And when I told her about um the oximeter with the oxygen being at like 93 around there, she told me to go straight to ER right now. At that moment, go straight to the ER, straight to the ER. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I guess it's serious. Let me go to a New York hospital in case I have to stay or something like that. So I decided to go to New York Presbyterian.
Bad move.
It was, I mean, I guess it really depends on who you have. But so, all right, so we're there, right? I'm over here, 93, 94, around there. It's a little hard for me to breathe, but not like bad where I'm like, trying to, get every breath that I can. And I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. Like I'm here. I don't know what to think. Am I going to die? Whatever the case is. It's it was nuts. I didn't really feel too good. I was a little sluggish. So I'm sitting there, with the doctor in the ER
By yourself, because they wouldn't let me go in with you, by the way.
Right.
Not like Englewood, my favorite hospital, who let me in.
That is true. They were like, listen, you already gave it to her, or you sure.
Yeah, I was already positive too, so it doesnon matter. But anyway, go ahead.
So I was sitting there. I was sitting in the emergency room at New York Presbyterian. This is up on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. And they did the EKG, which is the normal. That's what they all do.
Mm-hmm.
That came back fine. I'm sitting there for I don't know how long. Doc comes asking me questions. Says that they saw my results from Englewood. I guess they share the same network or the same
Records.
program or something. I have no idea. And she had me kind of march in place while just looking at my oxygen levels to see if they were high.
So you kind of did a DUI test?
I guess in a way. That's as close
or
as
DWI?
Yeah, that's as close as it's gonna come. But I did that and it was fine. It was like 96, 90s around there, 96, 97. So she didn't have any, she didn't feel like it was necessary to run any more tests. And it's crazy because, and this is gonna I guess apply to what I found out at Englewood, because I did go back to Englewood. She could have ran a test again on me. She could have taken blood work.
Yeah, she could have.
And checked my D-dimer or whatever they call that. I don't know what you call it, but it's D-dimer.
Mind you, she saw that on the records.
Right, and it showed that it was elevated. So if she would have seen that, if she did see it, if she did see my record, because she said she did, she would have seen that the, my D-dimer was elevated. At that point, I think you should test the person. She should have tested me again.
Exactly.
She should have checked to see if it was elevated even more. Maybe it was like 0.8 or something like that.
Well, how did she know your pneumonia didn't get worse?
Right. So I should have gotten another CT scan, my chest or x-ray. But she didn't. She sent me home. And I'm thinking to myself, whoa, okay. See, the thing for me is I didn't really think about the D-dimer. I didn't think about that. That was like...
Well, at that time,
yeah, we
didn't know.
I wasn't focused on that.
Yeah.
I had no idea, like, that's, this is what it is. So I came home and, I guess rode the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And Until Sunday. Or it was Sunday. So I rode the rest of the week. I felt like, I was getting, I was okay. I was getting better.
The breathing
part, like I was able to breathe, so that, I was good. And then Sunday comes. I'm not going to lie. There was some
Lordy,
extracurricular activities going on at some point. And I think after that,
I'm sorry, I had to laugh.
We
it's not funny, but it's funny.
We were eating. we were eating, and I, decided to, just rest up a little bit, and eating my dinner, and I feel this weirdness in the back of my, on my back, the left part of my back, upper left area of my back. I feel this weird pinching feeling every time that I was breathing in. And I'm like, wait a second, that doesn't feel right. I don't feel right. Something is wrong. And I told you, I want to go to the hospital. I want to go to Englewood. And I chose Englewood at this time because I figured maybe it was like, a muscle spasm or something. I don't know, gas.
Well, at least you knew they would take tests.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they would actually check to see what's going on.
Yeah, so it was weird. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, fine. Maybe this is what it is. I had no idea, what was going to happen. So, we go there and, we're seeing they take my vitals and stuff in the beginning, take me to the room pretty quick.
With me?
Yeah, with you.
Because they let me go.
Yeah, which was good. So I'm in my own, room on the bed, just waiting. Docs come in, they take my blood. They check again, EKG. They do an
Chest
X-ray.
X-ray. Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty routine, I guess, from them. And it turned out that I had blood clots in my lungs. And it was crazy. I had no idea. That it would be this bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, considering everything that you heard or you've seen from stories on the news and everything else, people in ICU, ventilators, like I knew that was a possibility, but I'm like, it's me. It's not going to happen.
Well, you also thought I'm relatively healthy.
Right.
I don't have that many issues, nothing,
Right.
nothing, crazy. So we didn't think that it would escalate. Plus mine at this point, I still have, some symptoms that linger a little bit, but for the most part, at this point now, because it's now almost a week later after your hospitalization, I'm not 100%. I would say I'm like 80%.
Yeah.
80, 85%. So you think, that you were going to, come through at the same
Yeah.
pace I was, because we started off around the same pace.
Right.
But
And-
you took a left turn.
And it was crazy. Like I didn't even know how to react to the doc telling me that I had, blood clots in my lungs. But they reassured me that, it was not that it was good, but it was better than what it could have been, which was having large blood clots.
Yeah, they said they were small, like
little
nuggets.
Which, if they were bigger, they would have had to operate right then and
Surgery,
there. Well,
yeah.
not there, but, yeah. So
Emergency surgery, yeah.
So I was, kind of relieved in a sense. And then they said that they would have to admit me. And at that point, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what to think. I was like, what the hell? Because they said that you couldn't go. Right.
Well, they did tell it. Well, wait. Let me back up. So when they told you, first of all, when they told you were going to be admitted, I looked at you because I felt like it was like, it was, I don't say bad. It was, you were very nervous.
I was.
Nervous is the best way I could say it. And, sorry to say, I guess I have more experience with being in the hospital. So while I would probably feel bad too about going, having to stay or whatever, I felt like you were a newbie at it. So I really felt bad for you.
It's the worst time to be a newbie.
I know, during COVID, right?
Yeah.
So I felt bad that you had to stay. So mind you, I stayed there with you in the ER till 1 a.m.
Right.
Until they took you upstairs. And then when I thought I was going to go up with you, at least to get you to your room, they were like, no, you can't go. That broke my heart. I was like, I was here all this time. Now you're going to tell me I can't go? But
it was the COVID section. That's why.
Yeah.
And even before that, when they were running the tests, they did do an ultrasound of my heart, which I got kind of nervous because I'm thinking like, okay,
Yeah, that was a new test that they didn't give you before.
Yeah,
so that kind of got us nervous.
yeah, and I'm thinking to myself like, oh my gosh, like what are they gonna find? What are they gonna find? So you got some video. Of
Yeah,
that.
I'm sorry to say I'm a sneaky video taker. So I was taking, and plus I wanted you to be able to see what was going on, because since the way the screen is positioned, you couldn't really see what they were doing.
Right. I think I asked you at some point, like, what did you see? Was it something bad? She's taking forever.
And it's funny because in the video that everyone just saw, you're gonna see like some colors, and you were like, "What is that?" I was like, "No, it's nothing. Like they have to do this contrast thing or whatever." I was like, "It's not what you think," because you were like, "I saw red."
Yeah, I know. Again, it's just like, stuff that you don't realize. And, again, for me, it was, it was tough, because, again, when I was admitted, I was by myself, and I started to think about, what would happen, what I mean? Like what would happen to me, if I am like, I'm literally thinking of all these scenarios where, I am being, I don't know, like in some sort of, I don't even know what you call it. I can't think straight, to be honest with you right now, but it's more like, a bad scenario where the doctors would have to come in and resuscitate me or something like that, or take me to,
emergency surgery.
Yeah, surgery or something, or whatever it is.
So basically you had all the really bad thoughts.
Right. Again, I'm by myself. There's nobody around. It was, I was in a room by myself, which was good.
Yeah, that part was good.
Yeah, it was good.
That was the good part of being on a COVID floor.
And this was on a Sunday night. And I know it was hard for you because it was like 1:00 when you left, and I was like, man, and I knew it was rough for you. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to make it any worse. But at the same time, it's like I had all these crazy thoughts about myself and what I was, going to do and deal with. Then the next day came, and I guess the good thing is, there's a part of me that, although it was rough, it gave me time to think about life. And I think that's
maybe put some perspective.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was a chance for me, to really think about life and everything, that I want to do in life. The people that are in my life, those who I want to continue growing with. You know what I mean? Things that we have planned. I knew it was going to be emotional today. It's funny, and I keep teasing you because I say it to you sometimes where if there was anything good that came out from me to you, would be if I passed and you have my insurance.
Oh my Lord.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, those were the things that I was thinking about, because of course I know you would suffer, for, whatever time.
But at least I could pay off your school loans.
But at least you could pay off some, my debt, and you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I thought about, Mom, of course, and Gabby and family. And I must say, like, it really, I was, pretty surprised at those who reached out to me.
Well, wait, let's pause that for a second. Because not everyone, like, I know that I'm sure that there's a lot of people on this live chat right now that didn't even know about the hospital stuff.
No, yeah, I get that.
But I think you're talking about in general when you got sick and you made a post on Instagram. Right. That's what you're starting from, right?
Well, from that point on until
now.
Until the end, those people that knew about, the hospital, mm-hmm. I was quite surprised at how many people actually reached out to me, and it was refreshing. It was refreshing for me. And I think that's one of the things that made me want to continue like being positive, because I didn't really think about, I don't really, I don't really think too much about what other people feel about me per se, especially those that I don't really talk to as much. Mm-hmm. But when you do have those people who you don't talk to as much, who reach out to you and share their concern, it's actually pretty cool, and, like I said, in this particular situation, I don't really talk to my father as much, like I not as much, not on that level. But man, when I got sick, it was just like every day, which was, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And then you add, of course, my family, and it was refreshing. And then on top of that, I reconnected with my little sister. She's my half sister from my father's side, and it was the most refreshing thing, for me. And it was actually something that made me want to, keep pushing forward for, because I wanted to be a part of, lives. I wanted to create new memories and, share life with, and this, unfortunately, me being sick, it was kind of like, that spark, that bridge, in order for me to, to have that. And that was probably one of the most, I guess, heartwarming things for me. I know my family loves me, and they all care. You had those who checked up on me through you, mm-hmm. And it was good. You know what I mean? Of course, but man, being in the hospital by yourself,
without being able to have visitors,
without anyone, just being there by yourself, the whole night, whole morning, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's scary, and it's lonely. It's a lonely feeling, mm-hmm. And the only thing that you have at this point, at least for me, most people don't even have that. They're on ventilators and everything else. They don't have that. But at least I was able to, talk to people, text people. I had that. And, even though it's not the same where you don't see them, at least I had that. But, there are, pockets of time during, the hospital stay that it was lonely for me, and I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to expect. I'm thinking, like, is this going to be my last night? And is this going to be my last talk, my last time talking to, mom or you, Gabby? And that was the scariest thing for me. There was one thing that was good. Well, a couple of things.
What the hell is that?
Well, those were my underwears from the hospital, I guess. Those are the free underwears that they give you.
Well, first of all, let's be clear. Even my sisters didn't know this, because we've been, we've frequent hospitals a lot. We didn't know that you could get free underwear. It was like news when you told. I said something to you about underwear, and you were like, and you mentioned it something to the nurse, and she was like, "Oh, we have free underwear," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "No way."
Yeah, exactly. That was my free underwear, and it was like kind of like paper. It was really thin.
At least it wasn't like mesh, like when you're pregnant and you have a baby and they give you like the stocking thing.
I never expected to stay, in the hospital. So I didn't have clothes.
Yeah, I didn't pack you a bag. And then, okay, sorry, let's side note. They wouldn't even let me drop you a bag. Like, right. I couldn't even drop clothes to you or anything.
Yep.
Like, that sucks.
So it was crazy. The food was good,
Yep.
The food was really good. I mean, it was, fairly decent actually. And, I didn't have a problem with that. Um, again, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all.
Oh, by the way, in case people think that you just take pictures of your food, it's not for his purpose. It was actually for my purpose because
Right,
I
'cause
told
you
him I
wanted to
wanted to
see
see what kind of food you had, and I knew that it was going to be good. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. I'm not gonna lie. Englewood did a good job. I had breakfast. I didn't, take a picture of it at that time because I was already eating it. But yeah, it was good. I didn't have any issues. So yeah, it was all in all, um, it was good. And I think that the second night when I was there, you and I were having a conversation. You were dead to the world. You were super tired.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also because I didn't get really, good sleep. I was kind of hallucinating. It was weird. I can't even explain what I was feeling, Sunday night or Monday night. I was kind of hallucinating. It was kind of difficult for me to sleep.
And then they were poking you for blood work every few hours.
Like every 3 to 6 hours. Just check my vitals and stuff. Take more blood work. Eventually I was good, but it wasn't. It was weird because when was it? Maybe like yesterday or 2 days ago. I was looking through the photos, that I took, and
oh, you didn't show the sunset one.
well, I'm getting to that.
Oh, sorry.
So when I was looking at the pictures, I noticed. I swear I hate New York City sometimes. I swear I'd never live across the street from a fire department.
I know.
So yeah. So when I was looking through the pictures I took, I noticed the sunset, and the sunset was was very pretty, and I said, hey, look, this is what I see, and this is the shot that I had from from the bed, and I'm like, wow, it's pretty, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So I got up and I took the picture again, and that was the view from my window, and when I saw it, it really got me emotional because I started to think about that night, that day, that time of being there by myself, being lonely, not really, not being able to see anyone, hug anyone, nothing. Yeah, we're fortunate to have phones and video. We could text,
FaceTime,
but it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, kind of, I was very sad, and it really made me, like I said before, made me think about, wanting to continue, building on things, relationships, and do things for myself, and help others, because, again, like I naturally want to help people, but like this kind of made it even more, and I thought to myself, if I'm able to make it through, then I want to be able to help, whoever I can, as many people as I can, if I have an opportunity to.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to, go through this, I'm still here to talk about it, at least for now. Hopefully I'll get better, more and more each day. But I'm really happy that I was able to, reconnect with individuals and kind of, and have a chance to really continue living life. I don't want to miss that opportunity because right now, again, this is real. It's not fake, man. This is real shit, man. This is real. And it got me. It got me good. Of course, I'm afraid now. I'm more afraid than I've ever been. I don't know what to do, for this cruise that we have lined up. I honestly don't know. We're like, all together inside. It's like a petri dish kind of. I think about other issues that we're facing right now with this virus and what could possibly happen. So yeah, I'm more afraid than I've ever been before, but I'm also happy that I've been able to, talk to people, and I see those who have reached out, much appreciated. I'm actually happy. I feel loved, which is good. It also, on the bad side, it shows people who haven't reached out. That's something totally different, but that's something that is true and bothers me a little bit while I was going through this.
And that new.
And that, yeah, and you. People that I hold dear to my heart. So it's kind of unfortunate. But that's something that is not a lie. It's not, it's not something that I want to dwell on, but it's, it's the truth. So this is a candid moment, and this is what I feel. That's pretty much it. Other than that, it is something that I'm never going to forget. Like, I pulled through, never going to forget this. How could you? How could you?
Well, I was going to say that I wanted to say a post-hospital update. So, as a result of the blood clots that you still actually have, because I wanted to clarify that too, you're now on blood thinners. And at this point, the doctors believe that the COVID is what caused it. So therefore, they're assuming that once you're through the symptoms and everything, that hopefully it will stop.
Right.
So at this point, you're going to stay on the blood thinners for about 3 months.
Yep.
And then we'll kind of figure out from there with the doctors what the deal is.
Well, it depends on if I am if I don't get any more clots, then I'm good.
Yep.
But if
but if you continue getting them,
then I need to
even
stay
after you have no symptoms,
I need to stay on blood thinners for the rest of my life.
Yeah, which is basically life changing.
Yeah.
So obviously that's also something to be a little nervous or thinking about.
Right.
Well, on a positive side, I feel that part of, I guess you could say, your post-hospital your mindset was more health conscious and more, thinking about what you eat and thinking about what you drink and thinking about some of your not so great habits. Not smoking or anything like that, because you never did. But I'm talking about more about food and things like that. So, I'm proud of you. You've been drinking a lot more water.
That's ridiculous, actually.
Yeah, a lot more water. We're talking about going from 0 to 100.
Dude, it's like it's the color of water.
No, your pee is the color of water.
It's the color of water. It's ridiculous.
But that's a good sign. And I think just the overall healthier lifestyle mindset is something that could be a positive result of this whole craziness. I've been, listen, I'm not the healthiest person by far. However, there are things that I've tried to do over the last couple years to improve, myself. And one thing that I've been trying to talk you into was vitamins. So once you're through this.
Hey, not for nothing. I tried it and it gave me the shits.
But I told you that's a side effect, at least in the beginning.
It was wrecking me every single day. Like, I don't want that. I'm
but
trying
you
to stay away from that.
Your body has to get used to it. That's all.
I guess I have to wait till,
Yeah, exactly. Wait till you're through the symptoms. But, like vitamins or exercise, yoga, those kind of things. Drinking, like I said, drinking more water, which thankfully you started on that one already. And even, you don't really practice it, but I'm going to try to get you back on it again, which is that intermittent fasting, not eating too late, not eating breakfast too early. We got this.
I guess. I don't know. It's rough, man, but it's working. I guess I think I lost like 10 pounds from this.
Yep.
I lost 10 pounds.
So far. I mean, over the course of a month, because that's when this whole thing started. So about a month. So, not bad, 10 pounds in a month. But then again, you're a man, so you guys lose weight so much easier. Freaking taking me a year to lose 20 pounds, and you got 1 month and 10 pounds.
Well, God bless you.
So
yeah, there you have it, man. There you have it. This is real. I had to share. We had to share our story,
our COVID experience.
Yeah, Because yeah, it was touch and go, and the reality is the doc said, he told me if I didn't go to the hospital when I did, most likely I would have been gone. I would have been gone. I would have died. And I think that was the roughest thing for me to tell you, and then to hear you cry.
I have to say that when it comes to, listen, the reality is I'm the type of person that normally will disregard how I feel as far as not feeling too great, whatever, push through it. With you dealing with the stuff of COVID and knowing that your symptoms are a lot worse than mine were, I listen to you, and if you tell me you don't feel well or something's wrong, I'm not even gonna debate it. Which I can say on my little part, I was proud of that I didn't. Even if I thought maybe, oh, he's probably like overreacting, but it doesn't matter because I'm not gonna say that to you. But I'm just gonna let's go, let's do it. So I'm glad that you were aware enough to say let's go. And I'm also a little proud of myself, too. I'm pat myself on the back just a little. Because I didn't resist it. I didn't give you any kind of, like...
You didn't give me pushback.
No.
Yeah.
Because, again, this whole situation is scary. You don't know how it's going to affect you. You're right that over the course of the 10 or 14 days that you're supposed to have it, your symptoms change a little bit. And then one day you're feeling okay. The next day you feel worse. And the next thing, there's a new symptom. It's kind of crazy. And again, we're blessed enough that it didn't get to the point where we were hospitalized on a ventilator. But, it did, alter our lifestyle. We changed. We had to change certain things.
Right. And it's better. It's better now than it was for me. And of course, I try not to worry people. I try not to worry my mom. She's very sensitive. Gabby as well, daughter. And yeah, I try not to worry people because I know, we all have things on our plates. But I guess at this particular time, because you decided to marry me anyway, you guys stuck with me. So
what is it? Through sick? Is it through sick or through poor?
Yeah.
Sick is say the health through richer for poor.
Yeah.
Well, we went to the poorer stage. Hopefully, we go on that richer stage.
Yeah. And now we're gonna go on the
healthier stage. Yep.
So I mean, you stuck with me. You did what you did, and of course, I got your back, obviously. I hope you never have to go through anything like this until you get like super old. And at that point, I'm just going to be like, you know what? Go ahead. It's time for you to go.
Thanks. I told you, as long as we go notebook style, I'm all right with it.
Oh, that would be perfect, right? We just go to sleep holding hands.
Yep.
Knowing you'd probably take the whole bed anyway. So
that's a lie.
I'm just saying.
That is a lie.
If we had cameras.
As long as the fan's on, I'm good.
So, I mean, in the end, I do appreciate everyone's support and kind words and well wishes, and I am thankful for having another day to get better and push forward and start or reconnect with people again, especially my my other halves. Of course I appreciate the time. And Lillian, which is my little sister, she's a little firecracker, man. I remember not telling her, what was happening, and she got upset with me, and I think I said something like, is this our first fight? But, again, it was mostly because I didn't want to worry, and that was pretty much it. Other than that, I am very fortunate to have this time. So, I thank everyone who reached out to me and shared their words and stuff, and obviously having this opportunity to share my story with everyone who is listening, just so that way you may get something new information that'll help you out or something. Yeah,
and even if you think you have allergies or just a cold or whatever, it doesn't hurt to get the stupid PCR test, honestly. Like, I know it's a little annoying and, you have to go to urgent care or whatever. But the reality is there's a chance that you might have something more than what you think it is. And the possibility of actually infecting someone else. And then they're the ones that actually get the symptoms worse. You just might be, with a little cold like me. But, the next person might actually end up having respiratory issues or having to be hospitalized. That would weigh a lot on a person's conscience. So
and it did with me when I was at school. I had to let the principal know that I couldn't go back. I couldn't, whoever it was that I was dealing with or talking to, I had to let, the principal know this is what it is.
And even if you had a mask on, it still doesn't even matter because who knows? I mean, again, I think everything people are still learning about how infectious this disease is. So it's not like just having a face mask is 100% protection anyway. Who knows? You don't know how you can get infected. So at this rate, you try to do as much as you can to be safe.
Right.
But be conscious of how you feel. And if something's wrong, go to the doctor or go to the urgent care. Get tested.
Yep. Just be responsible. That's pretty much it. So that's pretty much it. That's it for now. I mean, that's, I wanted to just make sure I share my story and for those of you who, didn't know, well, now you know what I was going through. I'm very fortunate at this particular time. Hopefully I'll be able to keep, getting better, pushing forward. And
hopefully we'll have more regular shows.
Right. So
we'll get back to some kind of regular schedule.
Yep. So either way, we really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in.
Well, wait, real quick, since it's right around the corner.
Sure.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah. Happy Mother's Day.
To all the amazing and wonderful mamas out there. And hope you have an amazing weekend. Weather's not going to be that great, but as long as you are able to spend time with the person or people that you care about the most, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's good.
Good talks.